Here we go again. Number 100 and something. I think it's 113, if I've remembered correctly. Interesting that we're still here, still doing it. I'm still enjoying it. And honestly, I've been seeing my view count go up, mainly because I've just been adding tags to my videos. So I might retroactively go and fix some of the other ones and add tags and see if that does anything. I don't know. If it gets more of you to start listening to this content randomly and enjoying it in any capacity, that's good enough for me, because that's what I'm here for. I just want to entertain and provide something, from my perspective. Maybe inspire people to do the exact same thing, because yelling into a microphone is really easy. So anyway, hello and welcome back to the Lion's Den. I'm your host Matt, as always, and today I'm going to talk about what happened last night, because last night I went down to Funky Town, baby. That's a really funny way of saying that, I think. But for context, I went to my little video game society and chilled out with people, and because it's the penultimate night, they did a Just Dance tournament, which I wasn't planning to sign up for, because I thought, yeah, I like it and I enjoy rhythm games and all that stuff, but I don't know if that's kind of the thing I want to do. But I thought, spur of the moment, last minute thing, because there weren't that many people signed up, I said, screw it, I'll jump in, I'll throw my hat in the ring and see how it goes. And spent the rest of the night playing Just Dance, because honestly, one, not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good at it. And two, it was just really fun, really enjoyable, surprisingly. I got a lot of dopamine, endorphins, I don't know what the word is, but the good chemicals that made me feel great about myself. So let's just talk about that, because it was funny and interesting, and yeah. So the interesting thing is they did it as a proper double elimination bracket tournament, which I find hilarious. I'm used to that concept because I've been to Smash Bros tournaments and seen how that works. So essentially, if you don't know how double elim brackets work, every battle, if you will, was a 1v1, so two people would play the same track and whoever got the highest score would then move on. And you can be knocked out twice before you're then completely out of the tournament, or you could just continually win and go all the way through and win the whole thing. That's how it works. And the idea is that at any point, a person could be knocked out of the main set and end up in the loser's bracket, but still climb their way back up and win. Maybe you had a bad matchup, or maybe you had something funny go off, and that's why you lost your first match, but then you can kind of come back and prove yourself, right? That's literally what happened to me. So my first match, I was just kind of warming up, but I nailed it. The song was really good. I enjoyed it, and I got double the points of the person that I was fighting against. And then my second match was basically against the person who was thought to win. They were like, it was their idea for the tournament in the first place, and they were very good at the game, obviously. I don't think they quite expected to find other titans of Just Dance like myself, but it was a bad song for me personally. I don't know, it didn't work for me. I couldn't quite follow it very well on a first run, so that ended up being my first knockout. So then I'm in losers bracket. And this is where my redemption story came. I just went ham. Every time I rocked up for my next battle, I just won. The games got tighter and tighter as the further you got up, because that makes sense, right? In theory, the best people are the ones that are going to make it the furthest. So it means every step of the way it gets harder and harder. But I was loving life. The music, this version of Just Dance had so much music in it, so that was really enjoyable. And the people were fun, and nobody was taking it super seriously, but obviously it is still a bit of a competition, so everyone was doing their best. And that makes it fun, right? Nobody's upset if they lose, but nobody's not trying, so it makes it more interesting and a little bit competitive in that element. So that was really fun, and it was just really overall really enjoyable to do. And I had a great time just not caring and enjoying myself, having fun with the dance moves or playing really silly songs. That was also good. That was the nice thing, is the people that I was playing against, like a lot of them are friends, so I know who they are. And we just kind of said, oh, there's this song in the game, that's funny, do you want to try that? And we're like, yeah, sure, why not? It doesn't matter that we're in the middle of a tournament. So I enjoyed that. And the funny thing is, like I say, I crawled my way up through losers bracket all the way to what is called a bracket reset. So essentially, the winner of the winners bracket and the winner of the losers bracket will then square off. This is how the redemption thing is, right? If you only lose one match, you could in theory still win the whole tournament. And a bracket reset means that the winner of the losers beats the winner of winners when they first meet. And then, in theory, to then prove that you are the correct person, you play one final set to see who was ultimately the winner. And I did that. I managed to go all the way from losers up to the winners bracket. I won that match and reset. I was dying. I'll get onto that. And we played one final round, and that is where, unfortunately, it fell apart. The scores were so tight, but it just didn't quite have enough to clutch that final victory. So I ended up coming second, but hey ho, it was probably for the best. I was mildly dying. Here's the reason why I was mildly dying, because I was an idiot. As I was driving to my society, I realised, oh no, I've forgotten my water bottle, so I don't actually have any way of drinking anything tonight. But I thought, oh, actually, no, there's a vending machine there that has bottles of water in it. Yeah, it's a bit expensive, but it means I don't have to turn around and waste time going to go get my water bottle. So I go there, I join, I start dancing and having fun, and about an hour in, you know, I'm kind of hot and sweaty. I'm thinking, yeah, I should probably drink something so that I don't die. Okay, let's go find the vending machine. Let me have a look. Yeah, they've got water, fantastic. Go to touch the screen to pick my option. What does it say? Motor failure. Oh no. Basically, the machine didn't work because of the motor that moves the arm around, I assume. It wasn't functioning, so I couldn't actually buy a drink, which was really not good. I went, oh, damn, okay, right, what are my options? So I went running around a little bit to see if there were like paper cups or plastic cups anywhere. Couldn't find anything. I then looked at the hot drinks machine and thought, okay, it's going to be expensive, but I can buy a hot drink that, empty the cup, and then boom, I've got a cup, right, that I can drink water. I go to the machine, I pick the option, and then it says it's cash only. What do you mean a vending machine is only cash only in this day and age? And I don't have any cash. So I went, oh damn, I can't even buy a cup. So that's really bad. In the little communal area, they did have a tap that said drinking water. So I did the very basic child thing of just sticking my head under it, because I thought this is my only option, just to have a drink and to not pass out from dancing too much. So I did that, and then went walking in and found whoever was running the tournament, and this was like, oh, when am I supposed to be playing next? I kind of need to go running around the entire building to see if I can find any sort of vessel to contain water in it. And they were like, oh yeah, you're playing I think in the next one. I was like, oh okay, sure. And then they said, oh, if you go upstairs to this room, we actually have cups and stuff up there. And I was like, oh, fantastic. So I went up and had a look, and lo and behold, they'd purchased from the catering service some drinks and some pizza and cups, because the cups come along with the drinks. So I was like, oh, I'm actually saved. Managed to grab one of the cups, and then I was sorted. I could just go to that drinking tap and fill up throughout the night. Honestly, if I hadn't had any form of drinking, I think it would have been really bad. I think I would have ended up quite heat exhaustion and probably a bit dizzy, a bit woozy, maybe a bit sick. So that would not have been good. Not at all. And because the problem was, right, I hadn't planned to go into this tournament, so I rocked up in a t-shirt, a jacket, a coat, and then the thickest jeans going. So dancing in very thick jeans that aren't breathable at all, not fun. My legs were drenched. They were glued to me. I was super hot. It was very uncomfortable, but I was having a blast, so I kind of didn't care. And I just knew that as long as I keep drinking water and filling up my body, that one cools me off, but two hydrates me and makes my brain okay, and then also cools off the rest of my body. I made it work, and it was all good in the end. And yeah, some good classic songs in there that were enjoyable, quite difficult, but also fun. And just to say, I am still very good at the game despite having not played Just Dance in however long. That's my rhythm game prowess for you. Honestly, as I was watching the other people play their sets, the differentiating factor between people was, one, how much you're just moving in general. Like, some people are kind of sheepish, don't want to move around in silly ways, but that's kind of half the fun. The other thing was timing. That is a huge thing that gets you just tons of points in Just Dance, is can you actually time your movements? Because if you can time your movements correctly, you're set, honestly. So that's sort of what separates the good people from the bad people. No one was really wildly different in who was good and bad. It was just, honestly, it came down to timing, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. So yeah, rhythm games, woo! I think another thing as well when it comes to rhythm games is, if you know the music, that is half the battle. Honestly, it's amazing that this one has so many tracks in it, and it has a huge library of just tracks from all of the previous games, which certainly helped me because I was coming in looking at the newer tracks thinking, I've never heard of this, or oh, that's not a song I really like, or what is this? And then I see those golden gems of songs that I do understand and do know, and I'm like, yes, I can play that because I actually know timings. It just makes it so much easier that if you know, I don't know, there's a clap in the middle of the song and then the dance move happens to be said clap, you can time it really well. Just Dance is a game based on sight reading, or at least it was for us, because none of us had had a chance to play any of the songs beforehand and actually understand how it works. So you're depending on sight reading ability, which is really hard in rhythm games. You have to have been playing a little bit to be able to get sight reading down. So having knowledge of what the song sounds like certainly is a benefit, which I think showed for us who had heard the song. We were like, oh yeah, I'm definitely doing better on this one than X song from band I don't know or have never heard of, which is, yeah. That's just a trope of video games. That's just a trope of rhythm games. So I felt so good afterwards. I got home and I was like smiling, really happy, thinking about it fondly. Like I didn't have any bad memories of it or bad feelings coming away from it. So all good. I'm gonna get out of here now anyway. I'll stop wasting your time. Anyway, have a great week. I'll see you all next week. Bye.